Hello and welcome. We know that if you're watching this, you're probably going through one of the toughest times in your life. Divorce can feel incredibly complicated and honestly, pretty lonely. That's exactly why we at the Badaki Law Firm put together this guide to give you a clear, simple roadmap for the process here in Maryland. Right now, you might be feeling stressed, confused, maybe a little lost. That is completely normal. The legal system can look like a maze, especially when you're dealing with so much on a personal level. But I want you to know you're definitely not alone in feeling this way. Our whole mission is to help you swap that feeling of uncertainty for a real sense of clarity and confidence. We are here to be your guide, providing compassionate and accessible legal support to help you get through this. So let's dive right in. Okay, so before you can do anything else, there's one really basic requirement you have to meet to even file for divorce in the state of Maryland. And that's the residency requirement. It's simple. At least one of you has to have lived here in Maryland for a minimum of 6 months before you file. This is especially true if the reasons for the divorce happened outside of the state. It's really the very first box you need to check off. All right, next up, let's talk about the legal reasons, or what we call grounds for a divorce. The great thing about the current Maryland divorce laws is that they really focus on no-fault options, which helps make the whole process way less contentious. There are 3 main paths you can take. The first one is called irreconcilable differences. This is the modern no-fault approach. It basically just means the marriage has broken down to a point where it can't be saved. The key here is you don't have to blame anyone or prove someone did something wrong. You just have to state the reasons why the marriage is over for good. The second option is a 6-month separation. Now, here's a really important detail you need to know. Living separate lives can actually happen while you're still under the same roof. Yeah, you heard that right. Things like sleeping in different bedrooms, not sharing finances, that can count. And finally, we have mutual consent. So if you've been searching for mutual consent divorce Maryland, this is for you. This is, by far, the most direct and affordable route if you and your spouse agree on everything. And I mean everything. You need a signed written settlement that covers all property, any alimony, and all child-related issues. So once you have your grounds, the process really boils down to working through a few key areas that are central to every family's future. Let's break those down.
This is probably one of the biggest questions we get. A lot of people think everything just gets split 50-50, right down the middle, but that's actually not how it works here.
See, Maryland is what's called an equitable distribution state. Equitable means fair, which isn't always the same as a 50-50 split. A judge is going to look at a whole bunch of factors: how long you were married, what each person's financial situation looks like, and all the contributions made, not just money earned, but also things like raising the kids or managing the household. Now, for parents, I know that nothing, absolutely nothing, is more important than your children. And when it comes to deciding custody, the court has one and only one thing on its mind. Every single decision is guided by one simple principle: what is in the best interests of the child, period. To figure that out, the court considers a lot of things, like the mental and physical health of each parent, who has historically been the main caregiver, and if the children are old enough, what their preference might be. A parent's ability to communicate and work together is also a huge factor. Look, understanding these laws is a great first step, but figuring out how they apply to your specific, unique situation, that's a whole different ballgame. And that's where having a compassionate guide can change everything. Trying to go it alone often leads to more confusion, way more stress, and, frankly, mistakes that can cost you down the road. But with our firm, we replace that confusion with clarity. We help you feel confident instead of uncertain. And we give you a modern, efficient strategy to help you move forward. And we make getting started as easy as possible. It all begins with a simple, confidential consultation where we just listen. From there, we'll walk you through all of your options so you feel empowered to make the best decisions. And we'll absolutely talk about our flexible payment plans, which are designed to take some of that financial pressure off. We really believe that everyone deserves quality legal help. We know cost is a huge worry for people, which is exactly why we've partnered with a firm to offer flexible payment plans. It lets you manage the legal fees and predictable monthly payments, which can give you some much-needed peace of mind during such a stressful time. You've already taken a really important step just by watching this and getting informed. So now what? Let's talk about how you can get the personal guidance you really deserve. Honestly, the very best way to get clarity for your situation is to talk with one of our attorneys. You don't have to figure all this out by yourself. Please take the first step.
pick up the phone and call our office to schedule your confidential consultation.
Or hey, if you're more comfortable online, you can just visit our website. It's easy to find more info there, and you can book your consultation right on the site. We are here and ready to listen and help you find that clear path forward.
And finally, just a quick legal note. Please remember this information is for general educational purposes. It is not legal advice for your specific case. An attorney-client relationship with us here at the Badaki Law Firm only begins once a formal retainer agreement is signed. Our lawyers are licensed to practice in the state of Maryland. Thank you so much for your time.